Duration. This is a couple of cold ones.
A couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
Okay, all right. I'll get it down at some point. And we are actually having a couple of cold ones up here. And if you haven't heard already, this is just, man, we're just cooling out, man. Every weekend, we just want to sit down, drink some beers, and just shoot the shit.
And we figured, why not record it?
Exactly. So that's what we're doing right now. So these are laid back. These are audio. So we use a lot of foul language and whatnot. Hope you're not offended. So this week we're going to talk about. You don't mind I talk about this because this is kind of
no. I'm right there with you because it gets to the heart of what I loathe. So I'm right there with you.
And this is old news, really, but I just want to put my take on this because it pissed me off. It's the whole Fox News thing about Mass Effect. That whole Fox report where they brought Mass Effect on and they talked about how this game was pornography, how it was corrupting kids. And I've never played Mass Effect, but I've read a whole lot about the game before it came out because I keep up with all that stuff. And
you like video games?
I love video games.
Do you like that big dumb one with the guy in the suit with the drill and
who? What are you talking about?
It's that underwater one with the big underwater guy in the suit that runs around with the drill.
BioShock?
Yeah.
I love BioShock. What is this, a test or something? What are you laughing? You laughing at me?
I know you love that game.
Man, BioShock was like one of... I know you kids on the site, man, all of y'all been playing BioShock. You're always asking us, or at least you're asking me, saying, what are some of your favorite video games? I'm playing the hell out of BioShock.
Dude, you guys have been talking about that for months now. It's just every time you and Cyrus get together, oh, God, I got to this level. Oh, my God, it's so awesome.
Yeah, man. Have you played it?
No, I haven't had time for them in a long time. I had to once I spent a year on World of Warcraft, I kind of said, okay, you know what? I need to take some time off.
I remember that. That was a dark point in your life.
Dude, I swear to God, kids, I spent a year playing World of Warcraft. I played from March to March, and in that time, I clocked in 3 months of game time.
And you had a beard growing down to your nuts and everything. I was like, man,
I had a beard growing on my nuts. It was insane. It was...
Why you give me that imagery, man? So that was that afro coming out of your pants. Okay. Man, I remember you played that. That's how I know you like games because you told me that you were close to being that Asian kid that died, like playing games for 20 hours straight.
My record was 33 hours.
Straight?
Straight. 33
Holy
hours.
Shit.
Yeah, no, it was kind of an insane point in my life.
As much as people have criticized me for playing games, I have never played a game for 24 hours straight. Well, I played a game for 12 hours straight, and that's half a day.
I did 33 hours.
How did you? Did you get up and take a shit or piss or anything? I mean,
well, of course you do. When you're flying from bird point to bird point, it takes about 3.5-4 minutes, and that's when you shower, and that's when you cook dinner.
You can take a 3-minute shower.
I learned how to take a 3-minute shower while playing. Like I said, it was a dark time. It was a dark period of my life. I don't like to talk about it. Some people have drugs. Some people have alcohol. I had Azeroth. Okay,
Azeroth.
I had my 60th level warlock. I had my 60th level shaman. My 57th level warrior. My 28th level priest. I was cooking.
Damn, boy.
And this is pre-Burning Crusade. You got to understand.
That shit is scary to me. So I never played World of Warcraft. All that crazy talk. You were this level and goddamn wizard at level 5. I don't understand that shit.
Well, level 5 wizard is like the first hour of play.
That was not a question you should answer. You're one of those dudes. You need to be sitting on a toilet when you play these things, so you don't have to get up and do nothing.
No, because really, there's that. There are bird points where you don't want to. You've got nothing to do for 3.5 minutes.
See, this is what this beer is doing,
off.
man. This beer is like making me use incorrect grammar. You don't have to be doing nothing.
You don't have to be doing nothing, yo.
I mean, I'm like Hillbilly Joe.
That West Texas is coming back to you. God bless you.
I'm from Waco. I ain't from West Texas. And that's pretty much worse than West Texas, believe me. But
Waco. Why did I think you were from El Paso?
What?
I thought you were from El Paso, not Waco.
How long had you known me and you thought I was from El Paso?
Dude, El Paso and Waco, they were almost the same. They both suck.
Fucking beard talking to you, man. You've heard me talk about Waco so many times. I mean, yes, they both suck, but come on. Anyway, look, you're making me mad. Now, what we want to talk about is this whole Fox thing right here. And if you haven't heard, like I said, it's about Mass Effect, and Fox News does the story on it, and they're talking about the sex in the game. Now, in this game, it's a role-playing game. They call that RPG, and you can play the role of either a man or a woman, and the game is 30 to 40 hours long. And within the game, you build relationships, and you build relationships with the opposite sex. I mean, I think there's even a part where you can do it with a same-sex alien or something. I don't know, but you build a relationship with them, and at some point, you actually have sex. Now, this isn't the graphic, look at the ass go up and down on the screen type sex. We're talking about PG-13 sex.
Now, let me ask.
What?
Do you do anything else but this? Because this is sounding kind of sad and lonely. You know what? I played this video game once that involved going to a bar and buying beers and developing a relationship with someone. And eventually, by the end, you could have sex if you won the game. And I've done that,
Well, I played a game where you went to Mexico, and the end of the game, if you won it, you got to have sex with a burro. But, have you heard of this?
Oh, I played the one where you have to pay money, and then you get to have sex.
With the burro?
With the burro. Or you could pay money to watch a woman have sex with the burro.
Actually, that was no game. Now, I actually tried to do this one time. But no, this is, see, these beers are kicking in.
A couple of cold ones.
With Corey and Carla. But no, this game right here, this is the kind of sex you saw if you watch The Shield, which comes on cable television or any other kind of show on TV. NYPD Blue had more sex probably than this game, but they on Fox News, they had this whole report where it wasn't even called. They had a headline about it that said, the Xbox. It's called the Xbox, and they titled it to where it said "Sex Box." And then they brought this woman on, Cooper Lawrence, who is a psychology expert, and they brought her on to criticize the game. And then they brought one other guy, Jeff Keighley from Spike TV. He's a video game reviewer. They had him on, and he was outnumbered. First of all, because not only did they have this woman Cooper Lawrence on there, but they had a panel of, and I say this very with much disdain, experts about video games and the effects that they have on kids and society and the whole. And they brought him on against all these people. One guy against a panel of people who hate video games and think they're destructive. So he comes on, and he pretty much asked this woman, Cooper Lawrence, after this whole thing of her saying, well, first of all, what am I talking about? I got the clip right here. Let's take a listen.
You look at the statistics, who is playing video games but adolescent males, not their dads. So that's the first thing. The damage is this. We know that all the research shows that violence has a desensitizing effect. Well, sexuality does too, because this is when the developing mind is happening. This is when they're first deciding who they're going to be, who their identity is. This is when social development is happening. And here's how they're seeing women. They're seeing them as these objects of desire, as these, hot bodies. I mean, they don't show women as being valued for anything other than their sexuality. And it's a man in this game deciding how many women he wants to be with.
All right, let's get Jeff in on this.
All right, that's
go ahead, Jeff.
completely incorrect. Yeah, it's completely incorrect. First of all, you can actually play as a man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
Right. Well, I think the fact is you talked about, another thing that you mentioned is that how it's, has full graphic nudity. That's completely incorrect. There's no full nudity in this game. There's the side of an alien boob which can be seen. It's a small sexual situation in this game, which is about 2 minutes out of a 30-plus hour experience.
Anyway, sorry about the suck-ass audio quality on that. That's actually coming right off the website from a video that Sean J., who's a member of the site, put up. Thanks, Sean, for putting that up. And I played it right off the site on my computer right here, so that's why it sounds so low. But she never played the game.
Look, well, you know what? First of all, before we even talk about the inconsistencies and the problems with this kind of a story, why is it that every time I have to listen to a lecture about objectifying women, it comes from some fucking librarian-looking girl who it looks like it'd take a crowbar and a pin vise to fucking lube up, and who I wouldn't want to, touch her with a 10-foot pole, let alone my own.
Well, I'd do it, but you know me.
Well, I do know you, and if
that's
there's
what made me so mad about it. But
that's right. But no, it's like, no, I'm not objectifying you. Of course, I have to. I have to turn to video games to objectify because I got to put up with women like you in my life.
The thing is, I'm a straight man. What else am I going to objectify? What am I going to look at? A rock? Come on.
Well, the problem is this is classic daytime television BS.
Yeah.
I saw something exactly like this. Like you complained about the fact that the Spike TV guy was outnumbered. 20 years ago, I was sick, home from school, and Sally Jesse Raphael was doing a show on Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, really? No, that whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, this is after Pat, God, why am I blanking on his name?
Robertson?
Yeah, Pat Robertson, the devil himself.
The 700 Club dude?
Dude.
That asshole?
Yeah, no, he came out and he proclaimed that Dungeons and Dragons was evil, that it was, the Satan trying to take over the kids, and it was turning people violent. And Sally Jesse Raphael did an episode where she talked to all these families who had violence happen in their family. So, a family whose kid was murdered by a babysitter who turned out to play Dungeons and Dragons, and someone who had a son who killed himself and he played Dungeons and Dragons, and they all kept blaming Dungeons and Dragons. And she invites one person on to defend Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. Now hold on. Does she defend? Does she bring on someone from the company that wrote the game? Does she bring in a psychologist? No, she brings in the priest at a satanic church to defend.
What is he like? Yes, I play Dungeons and Dragons every night, right before I sacrifice a cat.
But he was like, no, there's nothing wrong with it, and the Church of Satan says, and she actually had people stand up.
Manipulated it, yeah.
Yeah, she had people stand up in the audience saying, look, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian, and I play Dungeons and Dragons with my kids. There's nothing wrong with it. This is kind of insane. Oh no, let's go back to the satanic priest. I mean, this is so daytime, and
they had security come in and grab that person by the mouth. And I play Dungeons and Dragons.
I didn't comment on this because I saw so many people like angry and upset about it. It's like, you're still getting angry and upset over something on Fox?
Well, they should, man, because the thing is, they try to bring this on as journalism, under the guise of journalism, and it's not. They obviously did no research on this. This bitch right here that they brought on, first of all, she came on, she admitted she hadn't played the game. So first mistake right there. They cut this guy off. I didn't even play that part, but they cut the guy off before he could even finish. And then on top of that, now this is what I like. I think somebody like this chick right here, she should get a taste of her own medicine. This is why I'm glad people got angry, because have you heard about what they did to her?
No.
She has her book on Amazon. So all these gamers went on Amazon and rated that bitch's book like with 1 star.
Dude, do not. Okay, look, if you let me. I don't know how many non-tech savvy people we have out there, but let me give you a tip. Do not piss off people on the internet, because we are some vindictive motherfuckers, and we will. It's like what happened to the MySpace people, those evil fucking bitches that caused that 14-year-old girl to commit suicide.
Oh, did everybody come down on them?
Oh my God, people have hacked their phones, they've ruined their business, anything that involves computers and them, their life is destroyed. Everyone in town knows who they are. Their phone number and home address is posted all over the internet.
That's a good point. That just goes to show you how out of touch that chick is, man. I mean, she first of all, she came in and she apologized, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I realize now that this game is not that bad. I went back and looked at some more hours of it. I watched about 30 minutes.
A second review
this
thing?
Is So she comes on. I don't know. This is what I read in an article from I think it was either Wired or the Dallas Morning News. I can't remember, but people can look it up if you think I'm making this shit up. But her book was it had like 400 something reviews, all of them 1 star. The books it gets reviewed very low. Her book is 300 something thousand on the best-selling book items on Amazon. So now she's forced to come out and say, "I apologize. I was wrong. I didn't look at the game. Somebody had told me about it before." And that's even worse to me, because it says to me, what is your credibility like now that you're going to come out and just try to pimp your book by riding this whole anti-video game wave and criticizing it when you don't even know about it?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, this is par for the course for Fox. Fox is notorious for having the absolute wrong people come and do stuff. Look at what happened on Falwell's, the day Falwell died. Who did they have on? They had Christopher Hitchens, the big anti-God guy. And they had Sean Hannity had the balls to come down on Hitchens because he had nothing good to say about Falwell and kept calling him evil and malicious.
I remember that.
And granted, Hitchens was being a total douche. There was no reason to be that disrespectful on the day someone died. But by the same token, you don't have Christopher Hitchens on to talk about Falwell.
No, they tried to find the most extreme opposite of Falwell. Somebody who's going to come in.
Bill Clinton today died, so we're going to talk to Ken Starr, the man that investigated him for 8 years.
Yeah,
it's like, no.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I make no bones about it. I don't hide it. I'm an atheist. atheist, but I would never come on. I wouldn't even get on TV and just openly criticize Pat Robertson in the name of Christianity. I would not do that.
The moment that killed me in there, just the one moment in that this Fox piece was when he's like, "Have you played the game?" And she's like, "No," and just the way she says it, it's like, "Well,
she
shut
laughs
the
at
fuck up."
Exactly, and she later on in the review. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna play a little bit more of that guy right here because it gets ridiculous. Like she not only does she laugh at him and say no when she already knows that she's wrong, but she tries to get very condescending.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, we talk about, sexuality in the media. One of the great things about Mass Effect, for people that have played it know this is it's sort of a choose-your-own-adventure story, and it doesn't force you down any situation. You can actually play through this game without the sexual situation ever happening.
Right, and the young boys are going to be choosing not to have sex. That'll be what they'll choose. I mean,
No,
let's be
because
realistic
it's not a simple choice, but Cooper, it's not a simple choice. You don't turn to the game and says, would you like to have sex or not? It's through the evolution of a relationship with characters, and the fact that this game has incredible artificial intelligence, and you can actually fall in love in this game, and it's just like modeling your life, and I think that's a much more powerful form of media.
Darlin, I gotta go with the research, and the research says there's a new study out of University of Maryland right now that says that boys that play video games cannot tell the difference between what they're seeing in a video game and the real world if they don't have a real experience.
All right, Jeff, thank you. It's a fascinating game, and I'm just amazed at just the artistry and what it looks like. It's absolutely phenomenal.
It's a fantastic game, and sex is a small little part of it.
Well, darling, I have to go with the study. That is so condescending, man.
Yeah, Corey, you'd really have sex with her?
Yeah, I would, man. I can't hide that. You know what I mean? Darling has its time and place, and that's usually in my bed. But, right there, that shit was wrong. And then they go and cut the guy off because he had to insert himself before, no pun intended right there. He had to insert himself before they actually called it off. They were trying to give her the last word. But you see how condescending she was? And the guy was totally nice. He could have been an asshole, but he explained everything so eloquently about the game. And not only that, but he explained every detail in detail that they had wrong. It was totally against what they were saying.
And, to top it off, the real problem here is they throw at the beginning. This is what pisses me off. And this is what pisses me off about people who think they're freaking Americans. They start off their entire argument with the notion that, well, kids aren't supposed to have it and they're not supposed to sell it to them, but they're going to find it anyway. So we have to make sure that we completely sanitize the entire goddamn world.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to actually be good parents.
Man, that's the thing. I'm an adult. I play video games. Now, that's like somebody saying, well, we don't want our kids to have graphic novels with sex and everything in them. So not only are we going to get rid of Playboy, but we're going to get rid of magazines. If that's the case, people have cable in their homes. You get equally the same amount of sex and violence in your home. If you want to get rid of video games and you want to make a big fuss about this, throw your television out.
Man, I really wish we had the same kind of feedback back, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago? Remember BMX XXX?
What was that? Was that the game where you could get somebody naked and ride a motorbike?
Yeah, it was built on the Tony Hawk engine, and there was the whole BMX series that was built on
and
that
you could
engine.
actually have sex with somebody on a motorbike or something like that, right?
No, it was you played hot chicks, and as you ascended in levels, the clothing got skimpier and skimpier, and if you won the game, the last few levels, you could play topless.
Oh, nice.
And it was It's totally retarded.
Actually, no. Sex in video games like that is retarded because
they went ahead and they made the game adults only because they were being responsible and said, look, this isn't for kids. We know that. It's adults only. It can only be sold to 18 and up. So Walmart went and decided not to carry it. And they said, we're not going to carry that. That's filthy and horrible and irresponsible.
Oh, because pretty much a cartoon chick on a cartoon motorbike is topless. Yes. They decide not to carry it.
However,
but yes, they carry rated R DVDs there.
Exactly. The distinction that, it's...
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, no, it was retarded. And there was an outcry, but of course the internet wasn't as, strong and prevalent then like it is here, to where this one thing can happen and so many people can come together and just firebomb someone's Amazon rating.
Well, that's the
fact
thing.
Where she has to admit, okay, I was a dumbass. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to be a total dork. I was just trying to push my book because I'm not qualified to do anything else for a living.
And the thing is that she, on Amazon, they start taking some of the reviews down. And
What
thing
people did after she apologized, or
no,
or Amazon
no,
did?
Amazon did. They said our policy, and I do understand this. They said our policy is to not have a review up if you haven't reviewed the product. If you haven't used it, read it, watched it, you shouldn't have a review up. We can't police everybody on that policy, but this is a special case where we know that 90% of these people on here are not doing that. And like, I agree with that to a certain extent. Eventually take them down, but let her get a taste of her own medicine beforehand. Let all these people come on there and review that book without reading it, because she did the same fucking thing to this game.
Dude, you know what? You could say that, but it's Amazon looking out for their bottom line. If it was something of a bestseller, why would they want a bestseller to stop selling?
Well, that's the thing. It was like 300,000.
That's a bestseller.
Is it at 300,000?
Oh my God, dude! Do you not know a like bestseller like a huge blockbuster hit is 1 million copies? I mean, you know, a big huge book the week it comes out is lucky if it sells 30 to 50,000
I'm thinking like
copies.
Billboard music. I'm thinking the top 50 songs are the highest ranked things that do well. If your book is 300,000, I didn't say it sold 300,000. I'm saying it's ranked 300,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nobody's buying this shit. It sounds
copies.
like. I mean, I don't know for sure. No, not that it's sold. It might have sold that much, but now it's ranked as 300,000 something.
Oh, see that's I misunderstood.
No, and
That's
I know
awesome.
it is. I know it because in an article, again, I think the Dallas Morning News article, it said her book is so far ranked 300 something thousand on their bestseller list. Meanwhile, Mass Effect goes on to sell 1.6 million copies or something. In your face, bitch!
That's what we call justice.
Exactly. There is something in this world. Now, before I move on to our last point, I know this is going on long, but I have to show you. This ain't even the tip of it here, man. Everybody's talking about this woman, but I want you to hear these other people who are talking about books. The experts, yes. These are the people that really got me. Nobody's talking about them, but this is where Cooper Lawrence, at least she sounded kind of smart. She was able to like make some statements and kind of.
That's the wrong head talking, Corey. She didn't sound that smart.
I know. I'm trying to put a good word out there just in case there's a chance we can call each other and I can get laid behind it.
She's watching the site and she's crying. That Carlisle's an asshole, but Corey would totally do me, and that makes me happy.
Exactly. You sound a little smart, baby. Come over to my place and talk. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about smart things, baby. Come on over and be smart with me.
Yeah, you don't need to talk to do what I want to do. In fact, shut your mouth. You just get on bed. I'm objectifying now, aren't I?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we both are, because I'm like devaluing her because the fact she looks like a fucking librarian. Personally, I think librarians are hot, but you know, this particular woman is the totally horrible, awful, evil censorship demon. You know,
I know exactly. Man, she needs to get.
It's like a man has never touched this twat, nor will he ever.
Well, probably not now, you dumb bitch. Anyway, hold on.
Oh yeah, because now she's meeting guys in bars and going, "Hey, oh yeah, you're Cooper Lawrence. Yeah. You said old guys don't play video games, huh? Yeah.
I gotta go. No,
I gotta go.
Yeah,
I've got to go play Mass Effect and get laid tonight."
If she met me in a bar, I'd take that shit. Hold on. All right. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's listen to the experts.
Do you need another beer?
You got one more left. I'll take it. Bring that to me while I put this on.
You know, when you buy video games, which I just had my very first experience doing recently because I swore them off until this past Christmas when I said, okay, I'm going to break down. But you have to pick up the box and look at the back for the rating. And then, you know, I mean, you have to be involved in what your kids are looking at. What do you think about it?
Absolutely. I just last week bought Princess Enchanted Brides for my 6-year-old daughter, and I'm not very good at these
Oh,
names.
that's not for 6-year-olds, Grab.
I'm like with this, you know, princess, whoever, like trying to get to the next stage, and you're just in the room, like you have to figure it out.
You idiot!
I'm not very good at it. But I will say this. Look, who can argue, possibly, that, you know, Luke Skywalker meets Debbie Does Dallas is a good thing.
Oh.
It's just not good. And I'm definitely not going to let Mass Effect in my house.
Oh, it says MA on the back. Mature audiences.
And then the thing is once it's in the house, that's the thing. There's a lot of grown men that love video games. Let's be honest here. But once it's in the house, we live in a day and age where our children are not always supervised. It's not the days of the Playboy magazine when a lot of moms were at home for the majority of the day. Many kids let themselves in after school. They have time. What do you think a young boy's going to do? I want to play my dad's video game while he's not here. And I think that's dangerous. We really have to watch this.
I want to buy the game where Lauren fights Chuck Norris.
It's coming out at Christmas. We'll give you all the details.
I'm not sure why it didn't get an adult-only rating. That's the highest rating that it can have. So first of all, this board that rates them needs to have their head examined. And this made me feel old watching this. What happened to Atari and Pinball and Pac-Man?
What happened to Atari, Pinball, and Pac-Man? It's called technological advancement, you dummy. What happened to the horse and carriage? We got fucking cars.
Really, that's what's going to bug you. What bugged me from the start is, oh my God, it's so hard. You totally have to turn it over to look for the rating.
It's right there on the...
It's on the fucking front in the corner, dumbass.
God damn it.
But even
fucking idiots.
But what she says is, "Oh my God, you have to turn it over," and then we have Poindexter over there going, "I'm not going to let this in my house." You just said you have a 6-year-old daughter. Of course, you're not going to let it in your house.
That's my point.
That's what good parenting is all about. Saying you're not going to allow that in your house is exactly what being a freaking parent is all about.
That's what I'm saying. You should have seen these people. It's a guy. It's a guy who looks like he's about 40
he's
with glasses on.
Poindexter.
Yeah, and then you got this black woman who looks like Condoleezza Rice, and you got this other chick who looks like the dumb chick off of the View. And
her I would totally do.
Oh yeah, me too. That goes without saying. I do Condoleezza Rice on there.
Except it's like, baby, why don't you come over and we'll explain video games?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to Pac-Man? I got a Pac-Man game for you. Why don't you chop on my pill?
Gobble this. But no, look, seriously, I didn't know. I know. I mean, people looking at this are like, man, y'all are not the right guys to talk about this. Some of the most sexist.
You know what? Maybe we shouldn't allow you guys to be drinking beer while you're doing this.
No, we're joking, people. I mean, the thing is that let me make 3 points here. One you already made. That guy says, he comes on saying, I admit I can't play Princess or whatever because I'm not good at this. So you don't play video games. We got that, first of all. You're an expert. Second of all, you got a 6-year-old daughter, not even a son, a daughter. And you're like, well, I'm not going to let Mass Effect in my home. First of all, you don't have a kid that's old enough to play that game. Second of all, you don't play that shit yourself, you fucking fuddy-duddy. Well, I mean, so you are disqualified right there. This woman who's talking about, whoa, kids are going to come home and play their father's video game. You know what? If you have an adult-rated video game in your home, if you don't want your kids to play, hide it and lock that shit up. That's all you got to do. It's not. What are you gonna leave it all out in the open?
Well, and that the real problem there is that she's saying what she's doing is she's validating the idea that, you know what, we've totally created a society where we allow our kids to come home and be completely alone and unsupervised for several hours. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's up to the video game people to make sure they don't make these video games. And it's not up to the parents to not buy them if you have kids and you're worried about them being unsupervised. It's not up to, the parents to properly hide a game. It's up to the video game manufacturers to make sure they don't make a product that my husband might want. Exactly. And might leave around for my kids, goddammit. You crazy fucking bitch.
Thank you. Fuck that. I mean, it's like...
God. And then, well, I think the board needs to have their head examined. There's no board. Okay, let me explain how this works to you. If you don't know, the ratings board is just, it's like the old Hayes board. What they did is they set guidelines and said, if you meet these criteria, we're going to let you pretty much rate your own thing and say you've got you've got the code, and then as long as you go by what we've asked, you can run by that code.
Yeah.
And they've made sure there's no nipples in this. Nipples are what will give you an adults only. They've made sure there's no extreme ultra violence in this where there's, actual blood and guts. That's gone.
But Carla, you know what? She was wrong. It's for 17 and up. And I know what she's saying, but it's
but mature means it's mature is rated R, where adults only is rated NC-17.
No, you're right. Yeah,
but she was asking why it wasn't NC-17. But any person who hasn't played the game who's saying that they need it's like me saying, you know what, that Black Book, what the fuck is that doing rated R? That needs to be NC-17. Well, you haven't seen Black Book. Well, but that doesn't matter. I clearly it's got sex and violence.
The thing is, I don't think she knows the difference. If you ask me, I really don't think she knows the difference. I think she thinks that this is rated something like T for teens, where people who are 17 and under can get it. I think she thinks this is rated like a PG-13 movie.
You know what? Here's where I got to step back a second and say, you know what? As much as we'd like to believe that there's real enforcement out there, there's no enforcement. It's just like the movie theaters. When I was 13 years old, I was walking into rated R movies. Nobody gave a shit. Man, 13-year-old kids are walking in and buying Grand Theft Auto. Nobody gives a shit.
Exactly.
It's the way it is. But you know what? It is up to the parents to supervise what content is appropriate for your kids.
How many kids do you think are listening to us right now, cursing up a storm and everything?
Sure, you know what?
And they're not going to... And kids, I know, if you're listening to this, we don't think you're going to go out and do anything crazy because you heard me say fuck. Okay.
But you know what? And here's the, we say this, but the beauty of it is, like we have Ryan Quarterman, who's one of our listeners, and he's 13 years old, and he watches the show with his parents. He listens to us with his parents. He's shown his parents things, and they find they think we're really funny. They like the show. So
I mean, but look, I was 9 years old when I started watching rated R movies. I was probably seeing.
You were 9 years old when you started having sex. What are you talking about?
Okay, was hey man. So then, and you see how I turned out.
That's right. You turned out just fine.
But hey, Ryan, don't let your parents hear that. We're just kidding, man. Don't go have sex early. I didn't really have sex at 9.
Have you seen Ryan? Because
he ain't getting it anyway. But no, look.
I love you, Ryan. You're the man.
Man, the thing is that if you're the type of parent who's going to leave something out for your kids that's rated mature, you're going to leave anything out. It's not just going to be a video game. You're going to leave a movie out.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying a porno flick. You're going to leave a rated R movie out. And honestly, and this is why I'm bringing this back around. Everybody's saying, okay, you like video games, but how does this relate to movies? Because you guys talk about movies. Here's the thing that I've said for years and years and years. People are so obsessed with these video games because they don't understand them. But with movies, how many screenings do we go to where we've been to something like the caliber of Hannibal and we've seen kids in that theater?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's saying shit about that. And for years, we've been saying, you really want to do something? Change the rating system for movies.
Well, and you know what? This kind of brings us back around to this. Where does Fox, of all stations, get off trying to play the purity card? Have you watched Fox? I mean, Fox Television has been notorious since its inception in 1987 for being the raunchiest of the raunchy, the most dredging the bottom of the barrel for content. You watch the Fox News and you watch all the Fox thing, and then you turn over to Fox Channel and it's 14-year-old kids fucking.
Man, yeah, exactly. Look at it's a cartoon, but look at Family Guy.
Oh,
they have so much, and I love Family Guy, but they have so much risque things in there. No, I love Family Guy, but the thing is, that comes on what time? Like 7:30, 8?
Oh, sure.
Something like, yeah.
On Fox.
Fox,
yes.
Exactly.
Oh, but
you
and
assholes.
if we dared to rip into them going, how dare you? That's a cartoon, and cartoons are for kids, and kids are going to watch this. And how, statistics show that most cartoons are watched by children, not their fathers. And here you've got a cartoon that's filled with sex and talking dogs and raunchiness of all sorts. How dare you, sir? Yeah. No, you know what? Watch what your kids are watching. If you're just letting your kids go to the TV and watch whatever they want, if you're not using the V-chip or any of the parental blocks that have been put on every mechanical device you own, God damn it, you deserve to have a little runt who watches this shit.
Yeah, the thing is, it all comes down to one simple thing. And kids, if you're listening, I know you are, don't let these asshole adults run a game on you. Don't let them get it twisted like this, man. They don't understand games. This is just another scapegoat for them to go through to try to blame society's problems on something. And the real problem here is that if this was a movie or a novel, and how many rated R movies do we see get a lot of praise and acclaim, and how many novels do we see get a lot of praise and acclaim? I mean, we see plenty, and a lot of those have violence and sex in them.
Sure.
And video games, well, this just left there to get a bad rap.
Well, it's but the thing is this is like the last gasp. I mean, it really is. Video games have become such a big, huge market. I think one of the reasons why Fox is willing to go be one of the last, vestiges of we must fight against, these spreading video games, because they're not making them.
Well, they're not making them, and so far, video games are outgrossing everything.
Oh, yeah. No, the
movies, television, books.
The amount of money that's spent on them versus the amount of money they make is incredible.
Don't think that there's not a business angle here.
It's huge. And yeah, no, it's,
Sons of
it's
bitches.
become such a big medium. It has actually become a real honest to God medium that, employs big name people.
Man, they get celebrity voices. How dare you motherfuckers come in here and criticize this shit and dismiss it like pornography when people have spent 3 years, Mass Effect, 3 years to make this game, man. People creating art. I mean, you look at some of the imagery in this game, because I've gone back and looked at it. It's an incredible looking game. I hadn't played it, but I've seen images from
By
it.
the same token, now I get
Yes.
to come in as the cynic and say,
Oh,
really?
come on,
You
man.
spent... No, I got to be the cynic. You spent 3 years on a game and it's only 40 hours of gameplay? Are you kidding me?
Come on, man. What? Don't you do that.
Dude,
Don't
I
you
did.
do
I've
you
done
not do that?
33 hours in a row, man. So that's like one day and then another
You
day.
son of a bitch. How many years they spend on making a movie and it's only about an hour and a half? Don't you do that.
But a movie's good. It's not alien sex with
Man, you
alien
played
boobs.
fucking World of Warcraft
World
for
of
33
Warcraft.
hours.
It's
Don't
genius. It's
you-
genius. You do not speak ill of World of Warcraft, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
mean,
motherfucker, and I will kick your ass.
I'm just gonna finish this bottle right here and crack it across your goddamn head for
I'm
talking trash.
almost done
like
with my bottle too. It
Uh-oh.
looks like it's time for a gutter fight.
dueling bottles. Ching ching ching. Anyway,
I mean, it's, it's. I hear it's a good game. It's cool.
I hadn't even played the game. I'll admit that I haven't played the game. I'm sitting there
Oh,
praising
sure.
this
Yeah,
game.
you're sitting here.
It's an awesome game.
No
and
wonder,
it's
no wonder
art.
you'd fuck that librarian. You guys have something in common. Neither of you have played the fucking game.
Hey, you hear that, Cooper Lawrence? You and I got something in common. Call me, baby.
That and nobody wants to read your books.
If I had a book, they'd want to read it. Well, of course, it'd be a picture book, but
All
nothing
right.
but me in there.
If you've made it this far, thank you once again for listening. I'm Carlisle. This is Corey, and this has been a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
It's been so long. My shit's pretty warm right now. So, good night, or good day, or whatever the hell time you're listening to this.